Welcome to Demystifying Holistic Healing. I'm your host, Suzanne Piles, and I'm here today with Dr. Sean Woods, who is a renowned chiropractor. He does nutrition response testing. He is also the author of The Healing Vibe and the creator of The Core Creator. So today we are going to talk about Dr. Sean's book and the Core Creator, which is my new favorite piece of exercise equipment and foam roller. And it's like this
fancy foam.
It's fancy. It's fancy. So hi, welcome.
Well, thank you for having me. This is exciting.
It is very exciting. I can't wait to hear about your book. I know this is your first book. You're working on your second book.
That's true.
But tell us about this one, and then tell us about the next one and what's to come.
Oh, geez. Well, I wrote this, this is probably 3 years, been out for 3 years. But I wrote it for the last probably 8 years. And it's just an accumulation of what I've learned in the 25 years at the time when I wrote it of the chiropractic and the nutrition response testing and visually seeing how a body is put together.
Yeah.
So I wrote a book because in chiropractic, it's physical, chemical, and emotional. That's what health is all about: physical, chemical, and emotional. And this book is divided in like those three sections. I talk about the physical body, I talk about the chemical body, and then I talk about the emotional body and how they're all intertwined through lymphatic systems and meridian systems and circulatory systems.
When you say emotional body, you mean like when I'm stressed and how that plays a role in my physical health?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. How when you're stressed, your stomach gets into a knot and your adrenal glands start squirting out cortisol and just the normal responses to stress. And understanding how emotions can cause organs and glands to stay in a contracted state.
Yeah, so the importance of processing emotions properly.
Yeah, and holding on to emotions, it gets into that whole aspect of that. And the conclusion of the book is emotions do cause disease. They are the cause of all disease in my funny way that I look at it, because you can't have you can't have things without thoughts. So when you understand that concept, if you can't have anything without a thought, you can't choose the food you eat to make you sick without a thought. You can't have lots of things without thoughts. You can't have this book without a thought.
You had to think of it first.
Yes. So in writing the book, it took a long time to write, and I'm not a writer. I wrote it, and it wasn't very good at it, but I got it out on paper, and the way that I did that was a very funny thing in the book. It's a very quick story, but when you get in how the body works and the head gets stuck with cholesterol, I got into ear candling and pulling cholesterol out of brains and cleaning my brain out. And so when you do a bunch of ear candles, you literally.
What the heck is an ear candle?
You don't know ear candles? I've known you for that long.
What is an ear candle?
Sorry. An ear candle is it's a very ancient way that they used to wrap up leaves, and you would wrap up like a tunnel. You would light the end of it, and you put it in your ear, and you suck wax out of your ear.
You roll up an ear and
you roll up
a leaf.
Or I use a candle. Now they make candles.
It's a candle.
It's hollow in the middle, and you light it, and it causes a drawing effect. And it starts to draw wax out of your ear, but it doesn't really come from your ear. What I found out, it comes from your head. So it comes out of...
I want that.
Yes.
But it sounds kind of weird, and how do you do that?
It's even more voodoo weird stuff that I do. Yeah.
How do you...
It takes about 15 minutes. So...
Do you do that in your office? Can I come to you for an ear?
I do that in my office. I don't do it often. I don't like to do it often, but I do it because people need it. Sometimes when people can't hear and things are stuck in then their head is not draining, if you ear candle the ear 4 or 5 times, you can really get an ear to open up and eustachian tube to open up and blah, 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 blah. But
I got to write this down.
I did a bunch of them because when I first started ear candling, the wax was so black and dark. I was like, there's something wrong. There's something wrong with me. Because this ear was really dark and this one wasn't. And like after 20 or 30 or 40 candles, it got lighter and lighter and lighter. And now when I do it, it's like they call it...
That many?
That's what scared me. I was like, wait a minute. Why is this so dark? And where is it coming from? And why does it keep coming?
What was it?
It's cholesterol, which is really like plaque, which would be considered like an amyloid plaque that you would see in Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and MS. Like the plaquing that's in the brain, that cholesterol is part of it. It's part of the structure of the amyloid.
Wow.
So when I start pulling this stuff out of my head, and eventually it gets clear. But when I got to the point where it was clearer, that's when I was able to write my book. That's when my book came out of my head, because my left side of my brain, which is the part of the brain that controls how things get done and be able to finish tasks, when that side of my brain cleaned out so much, it cleared it, and then my book just flowed out of me at that point. And this all came out of it. And so I call it the healing vibe, because it has to do with the vibration of things. Emotions have a vibrational resonance. Food has a vibrational resonance. So the higher your vibration, you live in the higher vibrations of emotional states, with gratitude and love and abundance and those things. And so you're just healthier when you think that way. I mean, that's what it comes down to. The law of attraction. You are what you think. And I kind of prove that I prove it in my book, how that happens.
Well, I loved the book, although I was disappointed that I'm not a case study in Dr. Sean's book. And I realized when I read it that I'm not as, I didn't have as big an impact on Dr. Sean's life as he had on mine, but.
Well, after telling me earlier the story of Beth, maybe you should have.
You did. You saved her life. Like, it was a lot. And,
right.
And yeah. Anyway.
Well,
apparently he saves everyone. So I wasn't that big a deal. But.
Well, that's not true, but it's fun saving them.
Yeah.
It's fun saving them and teaching them how to be healthy.
Yeah.
And this is like
I got my 11-year-old to eat a salad. Like, that's a miracle in and of itself.
Right. The book is like a thesis. It'd be like a thesis of my 25 years of practice.
Okay, so what is your new book?
So my new book is going to be called The Soul's Vibe, which gets into the solar plexus and your core. And your solar plexus is guided by specific digestive organs. And then it gets into religion, it gets into Jesus, and it gets into what is your soul and how we are actually sons of the sun. So it gets really deep, and so I got to be careful because people think I'm a weirdo. But in truth, you literally are a son of the sun. You're living.
Well, I believe that everything is connected
Through the sun.
All of the cells are resonating with each other. We're all connected.
Right.
Like there isn't anything in here that doesn't have an energy to it that isn't communicating at all times. So
very true.
Everything resonates together.
Right. In every single cell of the body, there's photons of light that are communicating. And when you see diseases in people, when they do photon testing in people, you see the most photons where diseases are happening because the light is trying to be shown on them. It gets interesting into the book, but I go through the whole history. I go through the whole history of medicine and how ancient people, worshiped the sun and why they did and what they were doing connecting to the sun and to the planets. And what's interesting is I get into the planets in the book too, because the Earth is a very special place where when people are being born, the position of your planets are making up the astrological sign that you have.
Right.
So I get into astrology in the book too, and why we are basically just minerals, right? We're minerals, which are the cell salts that we've talked about before. That we said we should have a whole podcast just on cell salts.
Podcast on salt.
But cell salts are the minerals that run the body, and these minerals have come from the planets. And so I get into really fun stuff, but the basics of the book is that your soul is something that is of this earth, and you conquer your soul and you become a light being.
All right.
So that's what I'm doing with people. They don't even know it. So I'm trying to, when I'm getting people healthy,
saving us all.
I'm just saving souls. No, when people come to see me, I'm trying to correct them. And so over time, I made this core creator, which because I'm a chiropractor.
About the core creator.
I'm a chiropractor, and I'm constantly, bending over people and helping people. And at the end of the day, I'm like, well, my back hurts. And
you make Michelle fix it?
Yeah, and my wife is a chiropractor. She fixes it, but at some point you have to learn how to take care of yourself. It's fine to have someone come and treat you.
That's what this does.
Yeah, so I'm going to move this away for 1 second, and we'll still kind of talk here. But
Quincy, can
And I'll
you?
bring it back. I'll bring it back.
Oh,
Here.
do you already have a
You mind if
camera
I-
on that?
And I'll bring it down. So this is the core creator. And so, I used to use foam rollers and they just hurt my spine, much less, other people. It's like, you shouldn't roll on your spine. So I designed this little thing that you fill it up with air on both sides and no air passes through the middle. So it keeps it super stable. So you don't kind of roll off of it. And it's cushiony so it doesn't hurt like a foam roller. And I designed this groove, the dimension of this groove, so the spine rolls right in this little channel. And so you can comfortably roll on, no matter, I have 80-year-old people on this. And I have D1 athletes and professional athletes on it. So any age can use it. And if it's not hard enough, you just put more air into it. So it's really fun. And I've literally been using this twice a day for like the last 8 years because it's taken about 8 years to get this to
You
work.
told me it takes 5 minutes. So every time I use it, I use it as part of my home workout routine when I'm not going to the gym and I'm just working out at home.
Yeah.
And I focus on my core and just like I don't have equipment at home, so I just pull out my yoga mat and do a bunch of exercises with it. Some that you showed me how to do. And then I recently started, like after I'm finished doing all my exercises, then I just roll up and down
Your whole spine.
Yeah, my whole spine and just
Let it go.
And if there's a spot, and I've learned this from you, if there's a spot that hurts, that's where you need to stop. And you got to work at it, right? You got to kind of
get at it a little bit.
Get at it a little, right? And work that knot out because that's where the problem is. So
yeah, I beat up myself with this all the time. It's fantastic, but it really will change your posture. So in 5 minutes a day on this thing, you can really take kind of a slouchy posture that's painful and just stand straight up. Because after you get on it for 5 minutes, you do stand straight up.
What are you doing on it for 5 minutes?
I'll show you.
All right.
You basically just lying on your back in the ground. You take the core creator and you bridge up and you slide it underneath your what's called your SI joints. And so now you're lifting your pelvis off of the floor, and that gives room for your spine to curve down into it, to go into what's called flexion. And I designed this so that your hip flexors, which are these muscles that are deep kind of underneath your diaphragm, and they run along the front of your spine into your hips. And contracting those muscles, that is your core. Your core is not really your rectus abdominis and all these outer ones you see. It's these deep hip flexors that are driving your ability to hold your spine and ground your spine when you're moving or not moving.
So for 5 minutes, if I'm just going to spend 5 minutes on this, what am I doing?
This is what it looks
Just laying there like that? Or am I lifting my legs up? Am I?
This is all you're doing. You push your belly button down into the ground. So you push down, you pull your knees into your chest, and you push your feet to the ceiling. So you start just isolating your hip flexors. And you just start pumping your core. And you do maybe 8 or 10 of those. And then you roll it up a little bit underneath your upper part of your lumbar spine, and you let your pelvis just drop over it. And now you're right at what's called your L1, your T12, your T10. And that's a very special place where your diaphragm inserts into. So right now I'm stretching my diaphragm. And then I just crunch up and I pull in my hip flexors and I stretch my diaphragm down and I pull in my hip flexors. So now it's like a tail. So now you have your whole lower spine working like a dog would wag his tail.
Okay.
And that's where your tail begins in the spinal cord at T10. It's called the cauda equina. So you have a spinal cord that comes down, and at T10 it starts to feather out like the tail of a horse. And so you take that tail, and now you're gliding it through your spine.
Stretching it.
And then I have them just go back to the SI joints, pull their knees in, push their feet to the ceiling, and you do a few of those. And then you roll, and then you get into your upper back.
Yeah.
And so you get into the upper back, and now you start to open up the chest and the rib cage, and you open up the heart and the lungs. And then you can take your arms, you can do anything with them. I'll just sit here and do a few little crunches like this and just reverse my spine for where I've been bending over most of the day. So it's like completely relief in like 2 seconds. And you just go back and forth And like you were doing, you can just roll on it.
Yeah.
And it's super comfortable. It's super comfortable to use. And then if you're tired at the end of the day, you just put it on the back of your head. And you can just put it on your neck and you can work out your neck.
Yeah.
You can put it underneath your occiput and you can tuck.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
And open your spine up there. You can put it under your neck.
I like doing that when at the end of the day when my eyes are tired.
Yeah.
Rubbing on the back of my neck
Does
like
everyone
that.
hold your head up? Like it feels like someone's holding your head. It's great. And then when you get good at it, you can pop right over it, and then you can have some fun with it. I use it as a trigger point tool. I'll just put it on here and just work out. You can work out any muscle you want on it. You can get on your tummy and you can dig out your core with it.
I tried that once. It did not work. That was hard.
It was too much.
That was too much for me. I'm not in the same shape that Dr. Sean is. So.
But it's just a fun little, and it's been a great start with it.
You actually have stomach muscles that can roll on that.
Yeah. Well, you develop those muscles, as you start using it.
I did use it on the back of my knees.
Right, because you're right.
Right, because we had the knee and the.
We had the hamstring that
Yep.
was too tight.
Yep.
See, this will pull out. If you have a potential knee problem, you would find out very quickly how your legs straighten and how your knees don't straighten when you're in that first position. I have girls fixing their legs all the time and fixing their knees so they prevent injury in their sports at the point.
Yeah.
It's a great tool.
It has been great, and I love using it in my morning workout routine, and I love doing that stretch at the end. It just kind of puts everything back where it belongs, it feels like.
It does.
And it helps stretch all the ways that you were showing. So.
Yeah. And it's fast. It's fast and it's easy. It's you don't have to do an hour class. You can be on this for 5 or 6 or 7 minutes, and really when you stand up, you're like blood is flowing, my heart is beating, my core is warm, and all right, let's go.
Yeah. Love it.
That's the core creator.
Love it. The core creator. So I know you sell these in your office because that's where I got mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. But where else can people get those? Is there a website? Should we
Yeah.
drop that in a link in our podcast notes?
Thecorecreator.com is the website, and there's some good information about it. There's video demonstrations on the back end of the website. It pulls up basic moves, advanced moves, trigger point moves. It just shows you how to use it.
Yes. And if you're in Alexandria, Virginia, they are now this has been incorporated into a yoga studio, is now using these. And there are some classes. And what is her name?
Jess Patel Yoga Studio.
Jess Patel Yoga Studio is doing.
Bellevue Shopping Center, yeah.
Is using the Core Creator and is doing a class with those. So if you're interested.
I'm teaching it, actually.
And Dr. Sean's teaching it. So
because it's been like this will be the second class ever. But I'm hoping that someday they'll be in yoga studios and people will be having Core Creator classes.
Yeah, I wanted to take it with me to Orange Theory.
Yeah, and it's easy to travel with. You take the air out of it, you can squeeze the air out of it, put it in your bag, and you can travel with it anywhere.
So there you have it. The Core Creator and the Healing Vibe with Dr. Sean Woods. Thank you for joining us and going over all of these things.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So thanks for listening and learning more about demystifying holistic healing.